It's that time of day. Hi everybody, you're watching Lunch with Leslie from GoToKitchens.com. It's kind of a fake out, right? Look at, we're going to be talking about alcohol. It was a fake out. You're supposed to be faked out, Janet. You weren't supposed to know what it was. You know me better than that, don't you? Hey Frankie. Hey JB. Hey everybody. Right? You know me. You know better. I talk about kombucha in a wine glass all the time, don't I? I do. So welcome everybody. My name is Leslie. You're watching Lunch with Leslie on GoToKitchens.com, and I have a website. It's right here in the title of the scope. GoToKitchens.com is there available. I hope after this broadcast that you will go over and have a look at it and even join to become a VIP. There is nothing for sale over there. The only thing that I sell is I want you to buy into your own health. That's the only thing. So thank you for inviting followers. It's good to see everybody today. Sorry I was a few minutes late. I was actually got the bright idea to run down and grab my wine glass right before the broadcast. So because today on Lunch with Leslie, hey everybody, it's good to see you. Hi JM. It's only 2:02 here. Yeah, I was just a few minutes late, but you know me, I'm usually like spot on noon. I'm right here, ready for you guys. And I was just running just slightly late today, so all week we've been talking hello, it's good to see you. We've been talking about your metabolism and how your body reacts to certain foods. Sorry for the phone ringing in the background. And how your body reacts to certain foods. And so today we're going to break it down. We're going to talk mostly about alcohol, I have to tell you, and what happens in your body and your metabolism when you drink alcohol. And then we're going to talk a little bit about dairy as well. So I'm going to give you some tips and tricks if you do consume alcohol, and hopefully maybe I'll change some minds about consuming alcohol every single day, especially if you're on a weight loss journey, especially if you're on a holistic journey, especially if you're trying to clean up your body and your system, and especially if you're trying to heal your gut. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Hello everybody that's popping in. It's so good to have you here. All the replay viewers, thank you so much for being here. Awesome. Yep. I mean, I haven't given it up completely, but I do it very infrequently. So love periscoping. It's good. Yes, that's one of my tips actually, is to make it an occasion. Don't make it a daily, don't make it a habit, make it an occasion. So let's just jump right in and talk about alcohol. So alcohol is anything that is alcoholic that you're putting into your body. Wine, beer, liquor, any of those, champagne, any of those things. Awesome. What? That's amazing. That's so awesome. And one day, I mean, that's a pretty fast convert there, Phil. I mean, I'm pretty impressed. There's nothing good about it. Yeah, it's the only thing good about it is that the way that it makes you feel. That's the only thing that's good for alcohol in your body. So that's awesome. I'm so proud. It just makes me so happy to see things like that. So you don't need me to say that I'm proud of you, but that's awesome and good on you. Very, very good. So let's talk about alcohol. Yes. So alcohol is this. When you're putting alcohol into your body, one of the reasons that it affects your metabolism is that you are putting empty calories into your body. So there is no nutritional value in alcohol at all. There's some antioxidants in red wine, and only specific kinds of red wine, and only the way that it's processed is that even available. So you are actually putting empty calories into your body. So your metabolism is affected by that. Number two, it affects every system in the body. So everything that your body does, to just sit in a chair or to do a periscope or to type on your computer, it is a little bit like that. I agree. Actually, we're going to talk a little bit about how that works out. It's a lot like sugar in the way that it does temporarily ramp up your metabolism, and then it brings it to a screeching halt. And I'll tell you why as we go along here today, but that's a very good question. Hey, Jen, it's good to see you here today. So it affects everything in your body. And that means that it is affecting your brain, it's affecting your circulation, it's affecting your organs, it's affecting your immunities, it's affecting the way that your hands work, it's affecting all of your organs, and you're going to be shocked at the process of what your body has to do when you are consuming alcohol. So, by the way, I'm not a hater. I'm not judging anybody. If you drink alcohol on a daily basis, I am not here to judge you or to say, you know, oh my God, what are you doing? You can't do that. I just want to educate you so you can make a good decision about whether it's right for you or not. You may leave this scope going, no big deal. I'm going to have my red wine every single day, or I'm going to drink my beer. I'm going to do that. So, and that's fine. I just want you to have an education about what's happening in your body so that you can make a decision on whether it's right for you or not. I am going to give you some tips and tricks at the end of the alcohol session that will, we're going to have an alcohol session. That will give you some ideas about what to do if you're going to do it on a regular basis. So, okay, so in small amounts. So in small amounts, it has been proven that red wine is actually good for your body, okay? In small amounts. What is that small amount? We're going to actually talk about dairy as well. So in small amounts means about 5 ounces. Now, this is a giant red wine glass, okay? And this is actually 5 ounces of kombucha. This is not wine, by the way. I don't have any wine in the house, so we had to go with kombucha today. But so this is 5 ounces of kombucha. So this is a sampling of what 5 ounces would be. So 5 ounces of red wine a day is actually been proven to be good for your heart. At what cost is it good for your heart is my question. At what cost that your body is processing alcohol is it actually good for your heart? Because there's lots of things that are good for your heart. There are lots of things that you can do that are excellent for your heart. Does it really need to be in the form of 5 ounces? And by the way, who sits down and just has 5 ounces of red wine? Who does that? Nobody does that. You sit down, your body turns on as you start drinking alcohol. Your body turns on and says, oh my gosh, this is so good. I love this. You have to give me more. And so just another glass isn't going to hurt anything. Just another 5 ounces. That's only 10 ounces of alcohol, right? I mean, so really, what harm is it? That's not even a half a bottle. And that's how our brains calculate when we start drinking alcohol, because it enjoys that stimulation that we are giving it. But your body is begging you, hey Jennifer, it's good to see you. Your body is begging you to stop. Stop drinking. Your brain's going, no, let's go. So your brains are the gas and your body is the brakes. Although we never listen to our bodies. That is proven over and over again. We don't listen to our bodies very often. So let's talk about the trail of alcohol. So let's start from when you take your first drink. So here it is. This is kombucha. This is not red wine, so it's not going to have the same effect, but it looks pretty in the glass, so that's why I put it in there. So let's say you have your first drink. Cheers, everybody. I'm going to have my first drink of kombucha, not wine. So here we go. Oh, it tastes so good. If that was red wine, instantly what would happen is a digestion process would start. As soon as it hits my mouth, a digestion process would start. Now, because we're not chewing our red wine, Dr. Christine says you should chew your liquids, but since we're not chewing our red wine and we're just drinking it, not a lot of digestion happens in the mouth. So all of your digestion starts in the mouth, but not a lot is happening. It's mixing with a little bit of saliva, and then it's instantly going down the esophagus and dumping into the stomach. So what happens when it gets to the stomach? When it gets to the stomach, your stomach says, ho-ho, oh, look at, hey-ho, we've got some alcohol in here, people. Let's get to work. So your stomach instantly recognizes alcohol. All other processes in your stomach stop. okay? And it says, we have some alcohol and we need to process it because it sees it as a danger or a warning sign. So for the organs, I know, right? I should have like a little puppet, a little stomach puppet. Hello, this is your stomach. And a liver one and a kidney one. Oh my God. Somebody needs to make me some organ puppets. I need some organ puppets right away. Stat. I need organ puppets. Hey, Coach Cosmo, it's good to see you here. I'm glad you can make it live today. So this is what happens. This starts the conversion immediately. Hi, it's good to see you. This starts the conversion immediately. I know we should make, it's like a little, it's like a project. We need a project. And I have a sewing machine. I even know how to sew. I used to make my own clothes actually. So I know how to sew even. I could make us some organ puppets. Anyway, so the stomach, this is your stomach, by the way. Crafty, I know, right? Your stomach automatically starts the process of converting the alcohol into a toxin. Okay, so, right? Yeah, you need to come to Fort Collins. But it converts it into a toxin. It starts that process immediately. Part of the digestion process of alcohol is that everything shuts off and your body says, oh, wait a second, we got it here. And it starts converting it into a toxin called, and I have to look down, called acetaldehyde. Acetaldehyde. I'm sorry, I have a hard time with big words, so please forgive me. It's my dyslexia, and I'm not joking. It really is. Acetaldehyde. So it turns it into acetaldehyde. Yes. Well, yes, a little bit. Absolutely. But also alcohol sends all kinds of stimulants to the brain, and we're going to talk about that a little bit. So in just a minute. Give me a second, we'll get there, I swear, and we'll have like the brain puppet come out. So it starts processing it and it turns it into a toxin. So your body's like, holy crap, we have a toxin. We have a toxin into the body right now. You? Yeah, I have a hard time with big words because of my dyslexia, no joke. It's not just in writing, it is also in the way that my brain functions and getting things out of my mouth. So yes, red lights go off. Toxin alert, we have a toxin. And so your stomach goes, oh my gosh, we have to push all this to the liver because that's the clean sweeper. That's who gets this now. So the liver's going, I don't want it. I don't want your toxins, but I'll take them because that's what I do. So, so it gets, yes, I know. I do try that. I actually spelled it out phonetically so that on paper, so I could look down and reference it. My brain can hear it and see it fine, but my mouth doesn't want to get it out right. So, so acetaldehyde is being sent immediately, converting from the ethanol and the alcohol, being converted into the acetaldehyde, and it's going straight to, that's awesome. It's going straight to the liver. And so all of those processes, nobody's passing go, nobody's collecting $200. It's going straight to the liver. So the liver gets it, and it's like, okay, now we have to go to work and we have to clean all this up. This silly person that owns me has put alcohol in my body and now I have to clean it up. And so the liver goes to work and it starts cleaning up the alcohol, or the acetaldehyde. And it turns it into acetate, which is a type of vinegar. So it does its job, right? So here's something that I want to warn everybody about. If you are having the sensation of seriously flushed cheeks, thank you, Jennifer. So you get like really, really flushed cheeks. Have you seen people when they drink alcohol that they get this flush over their face? If you are getting an immediate sensation of rapid pulse, so you're getting that, that rapid pulse. Thank you for inviting followers, everybody. I certainly appreciate it. It means a lot to me. You get that rapid pulse going on. If you start sweating immediately, I don't know about you guys, but I can have like 4 sips of red wine and I'm like, whew, it's hot in here. I mean, it could be 20 degrees in the room and I'm like, man, it's hot. Woo. So I do get a little bit of that flush, and that is your body temporarily revving up and beginning to start the shutdown of the metabolism. So it's like the sugar effect. It's like a sugar rush. It starts revving up and then it starts shutting down. So, or shutting down the metabolism, not your body, but the metabolism. So when it starts to do that process, but I'm sorry, back to if you know somebody that has this or they have an immediate reaction of nausea or something like that, they are not getting that liver function. So what happens is, you get that with coffee, yep. So thank you so much. That's sweet, Janet. So what happens is that their liver is actually not doing that second function. So it's getting the acetaldehyde and it is, it's not processing the toxins out. So it's releasing the toxins back out into the body. And that's what's causing the flushing. That's what's causing the rapid heartbeat. Not necessarily exactly, but if you have all of that and you have the hot or sweat sensation, like you break out in a sweat, people think that that's an alcohol allergy. And actually it is not. It is your liver going, I don't do this. I don't do this well, and so can you not put this in your body anymore because I don't do this well, and so don't do this. And so that is exactly what is happening. It's not an allergic reaction. It's actually your liver is not transforming that toxin into something that is inert, which means it has no effect on the body whatsoever. So this is a 24-hour process, by the way. Have you ever had too much to drink the night before and you woke up the next morning and you were still a little like, woohoo, I'm still a little bit drunk? Well, that is, I almost slurred my words like I was drunk. Did you guys see that? I was just a little bit drunk still. So, I used to fake out my mom and pretend like I was drunk and she would freak out. She's like, have you been drinking? And I'm like, no, I was just totally jacking with you. So, yes, I have had some noteworthy alcoholic adventures in my life. So, so yes, and I try to stay away from them as a knowing adult. I try to stay away from them. Not always. Sometimes I drink too much because I've been stupid and my body wants more. But anyway, but I really try not to do that ever, 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 ever. And typically for me, it's champagne. Champagne turns me on. I love champagne. I have to not think about champagne because I love it and I want to drink it. And I can't afford the ones that I like. And it is... And I drink too much every single time that I drink champagne. I can't help myself. So, and it makes me so mad. I'm so mad the next day. Yeah, cheers. Here we go. Cheers. This is kombucha, not alcohol. I know. Yes, it does. Absolutely. And that's what happens in the brain. We're going to talk about that actually. So that is, all of this is going on. So once it leaves the liver in an inert state, which is an acetate, which is like a vinegar, it goes straight to the kidney. So you can see that it's not passing go anywhere. It's just going straight through the body. If we were to draw, we could draw a direct line of where alcohol goes in the body. And so once it does that and it turns it into something non-toxic, it actually goes straight to the kidney. Now, I don't know about you, but if I drink too much, it is, hello, I have to go to the bathroom. And we used to joke, and I'm sure you have all joked this way, but we called it breaking the seal. So you try to hold that first pee like as long as you could, because it felt like once you went to the bathroom that you had to go like, you know, every 10 minutes. It was like, I gotta go to the bathroom. I gotta go to the bathroom. I have to go to the bathroom. So yeah, no, that's your sugar rush right there that you're getting from the cake and cookies, right? Never heard of that. Oh, come on. You have to. Breaking the seal. So, which is actually just psychological. But your body, once it gets to the kidneys, normally when we're not drinking alcohol, our bodies produce really? Oh my gosh, we used to say that all the time. Maybe it's a Southern thing. Maybe we just said it in the South, or maybe it's an 80s thing or something when I did most of my drinking. So anyway, you never heard of that either. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. We used to joke about that all the time. I have to go pee, but I don't want to break the seal, because then it felt like I needed to go like a million times. Okay, see? Okay, good. Okay, awesome. Glad I'm not the only weirdo here. Yep. It's been around for a long time. Good to see everybody that's popping in. By the way, just to recap, my name is Leslie. I have a website, GoToKitchens.com. I am not trying to sell you a thing. There is nothing for sale at GoToKitchens.com. The only thing I want you to buy is I want you to buy into your own health, and that's why we're talking about metabolism and what alcohol does. So you're too old. No, you're not. You're just not a girl. That's a girl thing, I have to tell you. That's what chicks say. Okay. So when our kidneys are functioning like they're supposed to, we release a hormone that says, hey, you've got some water here, so why don't you push that back up into the rest of your organs? So that's what your kidneys are saying. It's, aha, that's right. And that's what your kidneys are saying and doing. So they're pushing the water actually back up to your organs. However, when it is introduced from the residual alcohol, which at this point is acetate, that has gotten as far as your kidneys, your body shuts that hormone off. So you stop pushing water to, or liquids are, and it's not necessarily water. It's just, it's a type of liquid in your body. So that pushes, it is water, but anyway, that's a whole different scope. So it stops pushing the liquids back up to your organs, and it turns that off, and it just starts pushing it down to the bladder. And so that's why you get the urge to go to the bathroom more, is because all of that water in your body that would normally be filtered back up to the organs is actually being filtered back down to the bladder, because that hormone is turned off as soon as that byproduct of the alcohol hits the kidneys. Okay, so what happens after that? So from the kidneys, everything starts filtering down to the bladder. And so your bladder at that point, alcohol is a natural diuretic. Yes, that's right. Get it out. We don't want it. And that's what's happening. It's going, hey, hello, we don't want this anymore. And so it's moving it as quickly as it can. It's metabolizing it as quickly as it can to get it back out of the body. And so what happened is that alcohol is a natural diuretic. So what happens in a diuretic, when you have a natural diuretic in your body, what happens is that all the cells in your body start shrinking. And when they shrink, the first thing that they do is they shed the water. So let's think about this being a regular cell, right? As it starts to shrink, the first thing that it pushes off for that shrinkage is water. And all of that water goes to your bladder. And so you can see very easily that your body is going to start in a state of dehydration. So that is where, bingo, the headache comes from the next morning. That's where the dry mouth comes from. That's where the dry skin comes from, because alcohol is actually ladies, if you are concerned about the condition of your skin, if you are concerned about looking old and getting wrinkles and not having enough oil in your pores, or having too much oil or having too little oil, or having bad reactions to products or skin, or your hair feels dry or whatever, it can be alcohol. So just pay attention. If you're watching what you are putting in your body will react and take care of you. So just know that it could be, if you're drinking alcohol on a regular basis, that could be the cause. And I missed those two comments. I apologize for that. So all your cells are pushing out the water. It can cause some dehydration. That's the effect that we have typically the next morning. So 8, 9, 10 hours later, after we've had the alcohol, that's when we start feeling the effects of it. And what happens is that you lay down and you go to sleep, and your body's trying to do all of its regular processes, but really all it wants to focus. Yes, yeah, absolutely. It's true. It will change your perspective, but your body really wants to focus on just getting the alcohol out of the body. So it just wants it to be gone. So it shuts down a lot of other functions to do this. So how does this affect your brain? So, I mean, I haven't even talked about the brain. We're talking about metabolism ultimately, and I'm going to get to that. I'm going to sum it all up for you guys. But what happens in your brain? So most things do release, a lot of foods release a pleasure hormone. It release a pleasure hormone that goes, ooh, we like this. Ooh, mostly with sugar and salty, so savory and sugary things. Our body releases a pleasure hormone and says, hey, we really like this. Thank you so much, And sometimes when you're doing healthy things for your body, it begins to, and your brain recognizes that, it starts to release pleasure hormones because you're doing good things for your body as well. So just keeping that in mind. Alcohol stimulates that pleasure sensation, but what happens with that is it starts dumbing it down as well. So we all know the effects of alcohol are, when you start to drink it, everything slows down. You get in a time warp. All of a sudden it's 2 o'clock in the morning. You're like, how did it get to be 2 o'clock in the morning? I mean, this is what happens, okay? And then you get really brave. Some of us get more brave than others, but we start thinking, I'm fine. I can drive. I'm good. It's no problem at all, okay? So our brains start thinking erratically. That's another thing that happens. And alcohol affects every lobe of your brain is affected by alcohol, including normal things. Some get hostile, that's right. Including things like your eyesight, your speech, of course. That's why you start slurring your words. Your thought processes, your judgment processes. This is where we get one night stands from because we've made bad judgments about what's supposed to happen that evening. This is why we get in a car and drive. We make bad judgments because our brain is saying, you're fine. You can do anything. That's what it does to you. So it impairs your memory. Have any of you ever drank too? I know, right? I know, I said it. Coach Cosmo, I said it. But have you ever drank too much and you don't remember what happened the night before? Like there are parts of the night and you think you've been roofied. Like, did somebody roofie me? I must have been roofied. And that's what we all say too. We're like, somebody roofied me because I don't even remember that happening. Well, no, it's the alcohol. I mean, you could have been roofied, but probably not. Yeah, brownouts and blackouts. That's right. But you forget parts of the evening of what happened. You don't remember what you said. You know, like 2 days later, your best friend comes to you and says, oh my God, I can't believe that you were secretly dating that boy and didn't even tell me. And you're like, when did I tell you? And she's like, the other night when we were out, you told me you were dating blah, blah, blah. And you're like, what? And it's because you get brave. It's because you lose your sense of self. That's what alcohol does to the body. It does this in small amounts. Now, it may not be recognizable, but 5 ounces, people drink alcohol at night, typically because they want their brain to shut off. And that's what happens. So 5 ounces, just 5 ounces. This is not alcohol, by the way. This is kombucha. That's right. Lowers your inhibitions. That's why I'm such a good dancer when I've been drinking. That's exactly why, because I've been drinking. So, yep, that's why I want to go dancing. Every time I've had a drink, I don't care. I was just at a convention with some friends, and I had one beer, and one beer for me gives me just a slight little buzz. No, not like Elaine. I'm actually a pretty decent dancer, but it gives me a slight little buzz. And my friend that I was with actually had 2 drinks, and I was like, oh my God, if I had 2 drinks, I'd be yelling, let's go dancing. You guys want to go dancing? That's what I would have been doing. So yeah, no beer, no wine anymore. Okay. Yeah. So I very infrequently, and I really only like just a really good craft beer, and it has to be local, and I have to know its source, and because I'm a nut that way. So, anyway, so how does all that affect the metabolism? We've talked about all that, and we hardly have talked about metabolism. But how does all that affect your metabolism? So the original question is, does alcohol slow your metabolism? Heck yeah. Heck yeah. I don't care what any fitness guru says. I do not care if they're talking about fat conversions at that point. I'm talking about what does it do to you right now? It slows your metabolism. Why does it slow your metabolism down? Because it has to do all those functions, including what's happening in your brain, all those functions that I just talked about, trying to push the alcohol out of the body as it recognizes as something that it doesn't want. It stops it from doing normal functions. And so it cannot focus on what it's supposed to do because it's focusing on something that it has to do. And so it slows your metabolism down. You got a bottle of tequila right there. So yes, and here's the other thing. That's a very good point. Thank you, Lean Green Girl. This is exactly my next point. My next point is what happens is that when you put in normal food and it's doing all its functions to send out all the vitamins and nutrients and everything like that, it's because you are actually getting nutrients. And so, but with alcohol, you're getting no nutrients. It's not recognizing it as nutrients. So it's doing functions for no reason at all other than to get out what you have have put in it. It wants it to be gone. And so that's the only function. It's doing what it's supposed to do right, but it's not doing anything worthwhile. So that's the reason that it slows your metabolism down, not to mention that your liver is what processes fat in your body, and because it's trying to process the toxin that you've put in it, and this is true for all toxins, so think about this when I say this, when it's trying to get out all toxins and filter all toxins out, it is doing that work instead of thinking about or doing the process of eliminating fat out of the body. And so when you're eating non-organic foods, it's the same thing. It has a toxin that's been introduced, and it's like, hey, what are you doing? Now I can't even think about the fat that you want to get rid of because I have to do this. I have to get rid of this toxin so you don't die. So same thing with alcohol. So your liver function reduces by 73%, not 72, not 74, but 73%. Your body is reducing its fat production. So not getting rid of the fats the way that it's supposed to. So just think about that the next time that you really want that glass of red wine. I want you to think about that. So it is always my recommendation, and I'm not going to back off of this, and some of you may pop off the scope as soon as I do this. If you're drinking alcohol every single day, I want to challenge you to stop. If you're having a glass of red wine or a beer or 2 or 3 or 4 or a bottle of wine or whatever you're doing, I want to challenge you to stop. Your body does not like it. Yeah, so so your body does not like the alcohol. It does not want you to have it. If you're doing it because you think you're getting antioxidants in your body and you're improving your heart health, then go find another way to do that. It's because you're upsetting your microbiome in your tummy. Your stomach is like, ew, what is this? We don't want this. This is acid. And so if that's reaction is, hello, I'm going to make it toxic, so maybe you won't do it again. And you do it again. So I want to encourage you to stop that. If you're drinking on occasion, you know what, and that's going to be my number one tip. So make alcohol an occasion. Don't make it a daily thing. That's right. Absolutely. Do not. Benefits of red wine. Not really. No. Yeah. Aha. Yeah, benefits of red wine are that it has been proven that there are some heart health issues. I mean, if you're not doing anything else for your heart, then maybe you want to drink a glass of red wine. But if you're exercising and eating the proper foods and doing the things that you should be doing for your heart anyway, then no problem. But my number one tip is make it an occasion. I'm not saying don't ever drink alcohol again. I'm not saying when you're out with your buddies or your friends or you're watching the big game or you're, whatever, you're going dancing, whatever it is, you're having a beautiful dinner, romantic sunset dinner with your husband and you want to have a glass of wine, then have it. Just don't make it a habit. Don't make it your habit. Make it an occasion. So there you go. Yeah. Not good. Yes. All right. So number 2, choose organics. Yes. There's organics in alcohol? Yes, there are organic wines, there are craft beers, they're actually beginning to come out with more organic tequilas and liquors. Choose organics, because what's happening is that you're getting a double toxic load when you're choosing things that are not organic, because the grapes that are not, yeah, thank you. The things that are not organic, your body is actually being forced to, sorry, my chair keeps rolling off its little mat and it makes it bump and it scares me. I'm like, am I going to fall over? I have the sensation I'm going to fall over. Sorry. So yes, so choose organics. When it's possible, choose organics. Organic sweet potato alcohol is in the South. That does not surprise me at all. That doesn't surprise me at all. They'll turn alcohol into anything in the South. And I can say that because I'm from the South. So I remember my grandfather actually making a drink, probably like White Lightning or something. I mean, like he had like a little still and everything, and I thought it was really cool. It's like a science project. But yes, we turned everything into alcohol in the South. So choose organics when it's possible, and your wines and beers and those sorts of things. Yep, distilling, absolutely. When you're drinking, eat some protein. This is very, it is science. It was science. I thought it was cool. But eat some protein. Yes, we should all be fermenting. That's right. Yeah, it's good to see you, Coach Cosmo. Thanks for being here so much. Yeah, thanks for the shares. Thanks for all the hearts and the comments. It was great to have you here. Yes, so eat some protein when you're drinking. This will help. So nuts, that's a really great one. You know, having dinner with your alcohol is actually good. It actually gives your body a little bit more of things to think about instead of the alcohol that's being processed. So when you haven't eaten anything and you're putting alcohol through it, obviously we all know that we get a faster sensation. So if you want to get drunk faster, then don't eat anything. But if you want to slow that sensation and slow that process that's happening in the body, have some protein along with it, with your alcohol. Number 4 is for every drink that you have, for every 5 ounces of wine or alcoholic beverage that you have, or beer or whatever it is. This is not wine, by the way. This is kombucha. I don't have any wine in the house. Then I want you to drink an extra 8 ounces of glasses of water. Let me start over. Yeah, yes, exactly. You can balance it out. So drinking an extra 8 ounces of water in your day for every glass of alcohol that you have. Yes. So alternate between drinks. Yes, that would be a good idea. And a lot of people don't want to do this because they want that high. They want that experience of feeling a little intoxicated or feeling buzzed. So, I mean, yeah, it just depends on what your goals are. So, but, and again, these are just for the occasional drinker, these tips, not a regular. So, but if you don't want to hang over the next day, then I certainly recommend that you alternate your alcoholic drink with the water, because then you won't be dehydrated. You won't get a headache. Well, you might, but you probably won't. You're probably not going to have an upset stomach if you do these things as well. So it's kind of a little bit of a hangover buster if you're drinking to excess like that. So, all right. So there's the alcohol. You guys want to talk about dairy? Whew, that's a big subject. I knew it was going to be a big subject, and I actually thought it would be a little bit more controversial than it was, and it wasn't. So there you go. Now you know. You guys are rock stars. Thank you. All right. Any questions about alcohol and the body? If not, we're going to move on to dairy. There you go. Yep. Get you some caffeine going. You want to talk about dairy? Okay, let's talk about dairy then. So there's a study out. There's actually lots of them. The more you know, that's right. Yes, so there's a study out about dairy. There's actually several of them that say that women who eat 3 servings of dairy a day have lost more fat and gained more lean muscle. Now, I have read this over and 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 over again. Every article points to this. What's the reason for that, though? The reason for that is the calcium that you're getting from the dairy. Quite frankly, it's kind of difficult to get calcium from other sources. Calcium is one of those things that most of us in the planet are deficient of. Whole fat, yep. So yes, not skim, that's right. So this is one of the things that we are deficient in, is that calcium. Now you do get it in some fruits and vegetables. You do get it in some meats, seafood, and especially you can get it from other sources, but calcium is one of those things that we're deficient in. It's true, that's true, and we're going to get to that and why. I'm going to give you some tips for that. But yes, and that type of fortification isn't necessarily great for you, because calcium, if you take a calcium supplement, typically what happens is you're really just kind of pooping it right back out. You might get a little bit of absorption from it, but your body recognizes it as if it were a rock moving through your body. It's like magnesium. It's like a rock. Yes, got to consume a diet that is going to allow your body to assimilate the calcium. That's right. Very, very true. So, and we're just talking about it, how it relates to your metabolism at this point. So, it is known that calcium can actually rev up a metabolism, especially in women. Now, this is especially true in women. And I'm going to use my husband as an example here. That's true as well, and we're gonna address that. So I'm gonna use my husband as an example. My husband is 62 years old. He is in incredible shape. He's very lean. He's always been very lean. He has very little body fat. He has good muscle mass. He has an excellent muscle tone at 62 years old, and he drinks 2 to 3 glasses of milk a day. Now, when I first met him, I was like, really? Are you really supposed to be drinking that much milk? You shouldn't be drinking that much milk, blah, 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 you know. So I will say that we have changed the quality of milk that he is drinking, but he still continues to drink 2 to 3 glasses of milk a day, and he is in amazing condition. In fact, it's amazing when we go to the doctor, they just kind of scratch their head. They're like, you're 62, you should have something wrong with you. He is hot, actually. You should have, he's my little rock star. He's got very much a like rock star physique, which I love. Thin, you know, muscular. Anyway, so whatever. Well, let's not go there. But they kind of scratch their head and they're like, you're 62. You should have something wrong with you at this point. You know, something should be wrong with you. And and but he doesn't. He's in perfect health. I mean, and we don't even have to knock on wood because we control it. We control his health, and he is in amazing condition. He is in amazing shape for his age. So here I am at 45. There should be something wrong with me, right? I mean, you had cancer. Something should be wrong at this point. You should have something else go wrong. It's been 2.10 years. Something else should go wrong. And no, and I eat dairy on a regular basis. I don't eat a lot of dairy. I probably should be eating more actually, but I do not eat a lot of dairy. But I do eat some of it. So it's not something that I have banned out of my diet. A lot of people are like, you know, dairy. Oh, don't eat dairy. Don't ever eat dairy. So here's my problem with dairy. Conventional dairy is dangerous. Conventional dairy is dangerous for all the reasons that you guys just said here, plus a lot of other toxins that are being pumped into our conventional dairy. Conventional dairy is dangerous. Even some organics is dangerous. So you need to be super cautious about the quality of dairy that you are putting in your body. Yes, that is absolutely true. And I applaud those that are vegans on this planet. I applaud those that do have that concern and leave those things out of their body. I do want them to be careful about their calcium intake though. So yeah, that's true. That's absolutely true as well. So good point. And you know, people say, oh, we're demanding a change. Really? Because you're not. You're not demanding a change. Just stop buying the other stuff and eventually, hopefully, people will change the way that they think about it. But really, it's all about you controlling your sources. So can you get dairy that's clean? Absolutely. Is it mainstream? Absolutely not. Yes, I could talk about the quality of dairy. So it's my suggestion. Probably every one of us within a driving distance have a source for some sort of dairy, whether it's, and especially nowadays because it's getting more and more popular, although it's not mainstream, it's getting more and more popular. So the one thing that I want you to be super concerned about when you're thinking about eating dairy is I want you to get it in its rawest state available. So in some states, it's actually illegal to bring raw dairy across the state line. It's like freaking contraband. I mean, you can't even bring it across the state line. And I have not done my research to know what states that is, but you can't even bring raw dairy in because they think that there is a fear of people getting sick from it. So awesome. Yes. Yeah, you have, yes. In South Carolina, they have raw dairy, but you're in North Carolina. Ah, dang. Yes, it is contraband. You can't even bring raw dairy in. So there are support groups online. Yes, there are places online that you can buy these things. So it's like drugs. You can actually get arrested for bringing raw dairy across. So it's crazy, but it's true. And it's because they can't control it. I mean, you know, quite frankly, if it's allowed in your neighborhood, any of us could have a cow and control the amount of the raw dairy that we get in. So they can't control it. So they make it illegal. So yes, connecting with people locally is so important. So here's the things I want you to look for. If you're forced to buy conventional, I want you to look for a couple of things. First of all, don't ever buy milk that is not organic. 99-cent milk is not good for you. It's not even milk by the time it gets to you. All right? It is not even milk by the time it gets to you. So 99-cent milk, a gallon, is out. Do not buy it. You're not doing yourself any favors. Just go without. Just don't buy it at all because you're not doing yourself any favors at all. So number 2, I want you to look for organic milks. I want you to look for anything that says grass-fed, so it's from a grass-fed cow. Also, the other important thing is that it's finished grass-fed. So here's the trick. Here is the rub of the whole thing. So they say grass-fed, and that means the first year of their life. Don't buy it from a gas station, that's right, or McDonald's or anything like that. But here's the rub. So they grass-feed the cow for the first year or 2 of its life, and then it goes to feedlot or a milking station, and then it's not grass-fed anymore, but that they can legally say that it's grass-fed because it has been grass-fed at some point in its life, right? That's right. Haha, that's very true. Very true. I dissed 7-Eleven yesterday and I had to apologize when I did that. But anyway, because I'm not into dissing anybody, quite frankly. I just want people to be conscious about what they're doing and make good decisions. So yes, so grass-fed and grass-finished are two different things. Grass-finished means that that cow has finished its life with an all-grass diet. And that's what it means. So you want to look for a cow that is either our milk or dairy that's from a cow or goat or anything that has been grass-fed and grass-fed finished, meaning that its entire life it was actually grass-fed. So that's one thing that you want to look for. And a lot of people can't answer those questions, and so it's kind of hard to find products like this, but you can find them. The other thing that I want you to look for is pasture raised. I already said that, but I'm going to say it again. Those are the things, organic, grass-fed, and grass-finished with pasture in there is great. You never saw finished on a label. Yeah, some actually do say it. There's a new milk called A2. It has less casein in it. It has I can't remember what else it has in it that's less, but it's actually a grass-finished product. So the cow is actually grass-finished. And that's where it comes into buying local. So try to find a local source. You're going to have to dig around. You're going to pay more money for it. But try to find a local source. Find a specialty shop. Find a specialty Whole Foods store. Not Whole Foods like the big place, but like a specialty shop, a smaller chain of I know, right? Of food chains. And that will help you find things that are more natural from their natural state. So going around, taking a trip to some of the farms, going to farmers markets, asking questions. You know, I ask people questions all the time. Hey, do you know anybody that has like, you know, grass-finished cows that they're doing raw milk from? And they're like, oh yeah, you know, go down here and turn left at the haystack or whatever. Yes, meat is becoming more popular, grass-fed, grass-finished. We're getting that, and that will eventually filter down into the dairy as well. So we're seeing more and more of that as people are becoming more aware of what they're putting in their body. So, and that's my whole platform, is making you guys aware of what you're putting in your body so that you will go and and we'll try to get some of this stuff mainstream. So can't get the dairy here. Yeah, so it can be difficult. I agree with you. So if you can't get it that way, then you can probably get some yogurts or cheeses. You can even make your own yogurts. You can make your own cheeses, and you can buy kits online to do that as well. Your own kefir, that's also a very good way to get some of this calcium that I'm talking about. If you cannot get, you know, do the best that you can do. Buy the best product that is available to you. And I promise you, you will see a difference. My husband sees a difference in his milk consumption and the amounts and how it affected his body, mostly in his gastric region. Organic milk does different things to him than... There you go. Very good. Thank you, Janet, for all those great tips you're throwing down today. And he can see a difference. So, and trust me, he's a milk connoisseur. He can taste the difference between milks, which I can't do because I don't drink it very often. Every once in a while I have a glass of milk with something, you know, I just have a hankering for a glass of milk. Is that hankering? I'm so Texas. Oh my gosh. For a glass of milk. So yes, you can make your own yogurt. It's kind of a pain, you know, and people go out and buy these like Yoplays and these types of things. You need to choose a raw organic yogurt, grass-fed, raw organic yogurt, and add what you want into it. Don't buy things already added into it. You add what you want into it. So bottom line is that dairy has a way to ramp up your metabolism because of the calcium intake that you're getting in the body. Now then, and how that plays on the proteins and what it does with the proteins and other things as well, which is totally sciencey, and maybe a whole nother scope on that because this one's getting really long. So here's some other sources of calcium. So if you're having a hard time with dairy or you don't eat dairy at all, that's absolutely fine if you don't eat dairy at all. I understand some people have allergies towards dairy and they don't want to eat it at all. But if you are eating dairy, then first of all, I just want you to consider it in moderation and think about other calcium sources. So get some of your calcium from dairy and some from other sources. And those other sources are a lot of oily fishes have calcium in them. Sardines, salmon, both of those have... I know. I'm not even worried about that. The money will find me, but thank you, Janet, for that. But so oily fishes are really good source of calcium. So let's take, for example, only 3 ounces of sardines has 325 milligrams of calcium in it. That's actually a lot. Tofu, half a cup of tofu gives you 253 milligrams of calcium, and it's a natural calcium that your body recognizes, and it goes, oh, this is calcium, and I know what to do with this, as opposed to a supplement that is like a rock in your body that it takes little pieces off of and goes, oh, well, I can use some of that, but I don't even know what that is, so it just poops it right back out. So yeah, so calcium supplements really, those types of supplements that you're trying to supplement what you're lacking in your diet, typically the absorption rate is so low that you're not even getting close to what you think you're getting, just saying. So salmon, 3 ounces of salmon has 181 milligrams, and 1 cup of cooked kale. So if you're just doing the kale, 1 cup of cooked kale has 94 milligrams. Now I will tell you, to get your daily recommended allowance of calcium, you're gonna have to eat a lot of kale because they want you to have, I mean, it's recommended that you get 1,200 milligrams of calcium a day. That is a lot of kale. You better have a kale farm in your backyard because you're gonna be eating a lot of kale, because that's cooked kale. I mean, 1 cup of, like, you know, just raw kale, that's totally different. But when you cook it down, it's, you know, that's like how much, you know, 1 cup of raw kale cooks down to about this much kale. So you need a lot more than that. You probably need like 3 cups of raw kale to get 1 cup of cooked kale. So, it actually, when you cook kale, it actually does open it up to being more absorbable in the body for the calcium. So there you go. So does dairy hurt your metabolism? No, it does not. It actually ramps up your metabolism, and it helps your body form with those proteins and absorb fats and actually get rid of fats out of the body. And it actually helps with the calcium production. It actually helps build bones and lean muscle. So your skeletal structure and your muscular structure will actually benefit a lot from dairy intake. So if you're not eating dairy, please tell me that you're finding a way to supplement that somehow that is in a natural food product, because it's important for your body to function properly. And as we age, it even becomes more important. So there you go. Now you know what those 2 things do to your metabolism, alcohol and dairy. All the replay viewers, thank you so much. I'm done with my talk now. I'm sorry it was like 50 minutes long, but there was a lot of subjects and I wanted you guys to understand completely what these does. So I did. I dropped some knowledge today, didn't I? Went down and dropped some knowledge. I actually know a fair amount about the metabolism, because I always thought that I had a sluggish metabolism, and then I got that debunked, and so I wanted to find out how to ramp it up. So thank you. That's sweet. Thank you so much. So tomorrow, Thursday, we're talking about grains and oils. We're going to talk about bye. Love you. Love you, Dana, very much. Can't wait for your first scope. Hello. So a couple of notes, side notes here for those of you that are not following Duchess Doodoo. Everybody give her a big round of applause today, because she was throwing down some knowledge as well, and some great suggestions and some great tips, which is what I love about this community, because not only do I get to benefit from talking to you, but I get to see your suggestions and ideas as well, which opens my world of knowledge to a huge, huge world, and I love it. So yes, Duchess Doodoo there, you guys go follow her. She's amazing. This week is constipation week, and she talks about your poop, because I will tell you that you cannot talk about health without talking about your poop. When I am coaching somebody one-on-one, when I am coaching somebody one-on-one, thank you so much for being here. It's good to see you, Andrew. When I'm coaching somebody one-on-one, the first thing we talk about is their poop. I want to talk about your poop. What does your poop look like? Because that tells me a lot about what you're doing in your diet. So Janet breaks that down and talks about it even further, and does not make it oh my God, we can't talk about poop. she actually makes it where you want to talk about poop. So kudos to Janet. Thank you, Janet, for being here today. My husband just popped on and said, don't forget to talk about sodium absorption with dairy, which is very true, actually. He eats a lot of salt as well, and by all means, he should have like high blood pressure or something because of his salt intake. He eats a lot of salt. But because of the dairy that he eats, it actually absorbs. Yeah, well, that's a question there, but because of as much dairy as he eats, it actually absorbs the salt out of his body and keeps it regulated. So yeah, you know me, I'm totally honest about what we do here in this house. So we're not perfect. There's nothing perfect about us. So yes, but yeah, no, it does help with sodium absorption. So yeah, can keep that blood pressure down if you're a salt lover. So tomorrow is grains and oil. We're going to talk about getting whole grains into your diet. How does that affect, and other grains? How does that affect and white grains? How does that affect your metabolism? And then I always call you need to get an oil change. Most of us do. So I want to talk about oils tomorrow. Hi, it's good to see you, Donna. Thanks for being here so much. I'm glad you stuck around for this whole big giant scope. Oh my gosh. Ah, dang. Okay, I still need to get back with you, Janet, about Friday. I hope I'm not too late. There's Edison. You know, we can't scope without Edison barking. I was wondering what he was doing out there. He needs to bark. So there's the horn. That's right. He's so funny. He's hilarious. So again, my name is Leslie. I do this show every weekday at noon, Lunch with Leslie. We talk about all kinds of things in your health. I have a website, gotokitchens.com, and I have to tell you, there is nothing for sale on that website. I am not trying to sell you a thing. The only thing that I want you to buy is I want you to buy into your own health. And that is how I feel about it, and that's the story I'm sticking to. At some point, maybe there'll be a book, maybe there'll be a cookbook, maybe there'll be something to buy, but right now there's nothing to buy. It's all free knowledge. If you go over and become a VIP, I'm so glad you found me too. It's nice to meet you. Yes, for sure. Oh, you're going? I'm so excited. That's awesome. Good. Thank you, Donna, for being here. That's amazing. Yeah, so you guys, if you go over and become a VIP, you get all kinds of free things. You get a free ebook that I wrote, How to Fall in Love with Your Kitchen and Yourself. You get a free Facebook page, which is just for my VIP members. You get all the news first over there, and there's some big news coming for Go To Kitchens. I'm telling you, it's big, big, big. And my VIPs will know first. You get a newsletter every other week on Sunday morning, that just, all on my website. Well, not all of this is on my website, but a lot of it, a lot of content is on my website. Yes. I'm content heavy in Periscope. So if you want most content from me, you'll watch me on Periscope, but my website just backs that all up. So yes, please go check it out. Gotokitchens.com. Thank you so much for being here. I'm so happy you were here. First time visitors. That's like 3 today. Yay. Hello, first time visitors. I'm happy to have you here. So great. Yeah, so you guys, thank you so much for being here. Can I answer any questions before I go? And I'm done with my commercial, so can I answer any questions before I pop out? Yay, for the first timers, yeah. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you saying that. I always want to bring good quality content to you guys and try not to bore you, but to get you to get those gears turning about, what am I doing to my body? What's happened in my body when I do this and I do that? And we do this every week. I pick a topic. This week was metabolism. I pick a topic and I break that down every single day of the week. I take different sections of it and we break it down so we understand it completely. And next week is going to be an exciting week because it's all about the sugar. Sugar, sugar. That's my theme song next week. Oh, honey, honey. Best creamy salad dressing without dairy. That's a tough one. Most of my salad dressings are oil-based. So, let's see. Best one without dairy. Oh, I know. So I want you to go over to Heartful Cuisine. So it's Heartful. So it's Heart. So it's HEART full Heartful Cuisine.com. She has a recipe for non-dairy ranch dressing over there, and it's really good. I made it just not long ago. It's really, really good. Heartful Cuisine. You can go find it there. And tell her that I said hello. Her name is Anisha. She's a doll. There you go. Yep, Heartful Cuisine. Thank you for putting that up there. Thanks for inviting followers, everybody. Any more questions that I can answer for you? I have to tell you, one of my favorite salad dressings is sauerkraut. Just saying, sauerkraut's amazing with the fruit in there. So you get a fruit and the sauerkraut. It's amazing. So I know. You know what? Ranch dressing is my nemesis. And if you've ever watched any of my scopes, I talk about ranch dressing and I long for it. I'm from Texas. We use ranch dressing on everything. I live in Colorado now, but, or lemon juice. Absolutely. Yep. Lemon juice and olive oil is a great way to get a nice, nice light salad dressing. So I know. I love ranch dressing. I could absolutely eat it every single day. Still, it's one of the things that I miss the most about my healthy diet is not having, and I didn't like it in a bottle. So like, I didn't want the bottle. I wanted to make my own. So I would take the sour cream and make my own ranch dressing. I still make it every once in a blue moon, but I have to make sure that everybody eats it before they leave, because if they don't, then I will eat it all week long, and I just don't need that much sour cream in my life. So but yeah, I love ranch dressing. My favorite. I'm gonna have a drink of my kombucha. So here's one of my tips. Oh man, sugar and chocolate and bread. Bread. I love bread. I still eat bread though. I don't deny myself bread so much. Actually, I don't eat it on a daily basis like I used to, but I will eat it. I'm not like one of those people like, I'm not eating any bread. So this is kombucha in my glass. This is one of my fake outs when we talk about alcohol. Cheers, right? Cheers. When we talk about alcohol, this is a kombucha. This is made by the GT company. Here we go. GT. This is what's in my glass right now. This is a cranberry kombucha. It's actually one of my favorites. Sorry, my lights are washing it out. This is made by GT company, and I just used this today as an example of how much 5 ounces is. This is also one of my fake outs. So let's say you have a red glass of wine every night. So go grab yourself some kombucha and get your little glass out, and you can have a whole bottle of kombucha and put it in your wine glass and have a little drink. This will actually, yeah, you need to feed your SCOBY. Yes, there's lots of talk about SCOBYs nowadays. We're actually doing fermented week the week after next. So next week is sugar. The week after that is fermenting week. So again, I'm going to repeat it. So yes, so this actually will give you a little bit of a fake out. So you feel like that you're drinking something alcoholic, but you're not. You're drinking your kombucha, which is actually good for your body. It's good caloric intake. So you're getting really good, amazing things right there in your body. So this is a good fake out. So trying to break the habit of a nightly glass of wine, try kombucha. I promise you, if you do it for a week, you will have a new habit, because if you think wine is addictive, kombucha is very addictive. Your body craves it. After you've had it a couple of times, after you've made it a habit, your body will actually want it on a regular basis. In fact, you'll be searching it out. Where's that kombucha? I need a kombucha. I need a kombucha. And it's actually good for your body. So it's really good for your gut health if you don't know. Yeah, start off slow. That's right. Yeah, don't just go and drink, like a whole bottle of kombucha right off bat. If you do that, you're going to have the poops. Never heard of kombucha. Really? Kombucha is amazing. So Andrew, be sure, not this week, but the next week, is fermenting week here on Go To Kitchens, Lunch with Leslie. And I'm going to be talking about, we're actually going to make some kombucha, but you can actually buy kombucha, and we're going to be talking about that. So too much for me. Yes. It can even constipate, but it will probably give you some diarrhea. It also has a detoxing effect in the body, and you may see like some skin breakouts and stuff right away, and other detoxing things that might happen. I've actually had a woman that was drinking too much right away, and she was actually experiencing some hair loss, and that was just the detox effects in her body. Her body was pushing out toxins, and it was doing it that way. So, and eventually it leveled off for her after we got her in the right thing. So. Yeah, and fermented veggies can be so addictive too. You just want to keep eating them. So sauerkraut can be super addictive. Other fermented veggies and fruits can be super addictive. But that week we're gonna make kombucha. We're gonna make sauerkraut. We're gonna make a kvass. And there's something else in there that we were gonna try to make. Oh, I have a pineapple fermentation thing that I want to teach you guys. So I got to figure that one out. I haven't done it yet. So yes. So that's coming up in 2 weeks, and then I don't know what's happening the week after that. I haven't gone that far. So But next week is sugar. And then this week, oh, and on Friday this week, I'm cooking for you guys. So if you guys are new to me, I call it For Real Food Friday. I actually cook in my kitchen for real in my 1980s kitchen. But I cook for real for you guys live on camera. And this week, we are doing a metabolism rever. I am telling you, this particular food is going to rev up your metabolism. It's also going to make you feel really good. You're going to get a lot of healthy fats. So fermented pineapples. Yeah, I know, right? That sounds amazing. I have an episode coming down that I filmed in Hawaii with grilled pineapples. Pineapples are so good for you. Do not fear the fruit. People fear the fruit. All of a sudden, there's this big fear of fruit because of the sugar in fruit. That is natural sugar. That is sugar that your body wants. Table sugar is not what your body wants, but your body wants that natural sugar. So grilled pineapple is amazing. I paired it with a dairy-free macadamia ice cream. Very good. Super good. Yeah, and I have a video coming out on Go-To Kitchens for that real soon. So maybe even this week. I just need to go edit it. Edited it yet. I'm a little bit behind on editing, quite frankly. Periscope is kind of taken over. So yeah, I can push content so quickly, and I'm a dyslexic, and I'm not joking when I say that. I am a severe dyslexic. So sometimes when you're looking at my Facebook post or you're looking at my tweets or something, you'll see that they get all screwy. And that's just because of my dyslexia, and I don't let it hold me back. I refuse to let it hold me back. And I chose to be a food blogger, and I'm a dyslexic. So everything takes a lot longer for me, especially because I want things to be on my website. I want them to be correct. So they need to be edited and blah, blah, blah. So yes, I'm on Catch.me, everywhere are you saying no to booze or cheese? I don't know what the question is there. Yes, so yes, that's exactly what I was getting at. Periscope is an awesome platform for me because I can push content, and you guys don't ever see my crazy notes, so it doesn't matter how much I misspell on my notes because they're just for me. So, but you guys have to see this. Check this out. I have notes. I'm not ashamed to say that I have notes. So these are all my notes since I've been scoping. Each one of these little plastic things is a week. So there's a whole week of notes in each one of these. Is that right? That's awesome. There's a whole week of notes in each one of these. And I was showing this to somebody the other day, and she was like, oh my gosh, there's your book. You've already written your book. It's right here in that notebook. Yeah, so that's a whole week of notes for whatever week I was doing, and so there's some amazing content in here. So, and I have to tell you, when I'm teaching you guys these things, I'm learning as well. So some of the stuff that I threw down about alcohol today or yesterday about sugar, I didn't know, and so I went out and researched it and put it all together and bring it to a format that you guys can hopefully understand and grasp and learn from. And so, so yeah, hey Chocolate Johnny, it's good to see you here. So yeah, so that's like the amazing part of this whole thing and this whole journey with Periscope is I get these incredible like notebooks full of notes, and I keep them all per week so that I have all this information and I can repeat. So when I go back to do fermenting, I can make sure that my information is consistent. So I know, a book launch, right? I know. I've already been approached a couple of times about writing a book, so I love that. Oh my gosh, I absolutely love that. The last step of learning is to teach. I am stealing that today. I'm putting that out on my website. I'm sorry, on my personal Facebook page. That's amazing. I love that. The last step to learn is to teach. I love that. Love it. Love it. That's a beautiful saying. I've never heard that before, believe it or not. And that's gorgeous. Love it. Yes, I'm stealing it today. Oh, I bet that was crazy. Yeah, I bet that was crazy. So by the way, I'm taking a drink, but this is not wine. This is kombucha. So I'm just having a little sip. My mouth gets dry sometimes when I talk this much. So yeah, it's a great idea for periscoping. I mean, if you keep all your notes, because you know what? I have a lot of friends. Awesome. Oh, cheers. Cheers, kombucha, cheers. Cheers, clinks. Yeah, so I have a lot of friends that are periscoping, and I've made a lot of friends that are periscoping, and we keep sharing information back and forth, and it just makes it really, you know, it makes it even more exciting. So I'm super excited about it. Yeah. So yeah, I'm drinking gingerberry actually. Cheers, that's right, yeah. So we got to teach you about kombucha. Yeah, so I'm drinking gingerberry and it's amazing. It's one of my favorite GT drinks is the gingerberry. I was kind of avoiding it, and somebody turned me on to it and I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is so good." So it's the one I want to drink all the time. So I still buy my kombucha. I'm being taught how to make kombucha on fermenting week. So this is a perfect example. I don't know how to make kombucha, and so I'm being taught how to make kombucha with you guys live on Periscope. We're going to have a teacher there teaching us how to make it. So, and she was just on here, Hold Health Dana. She was just on here. She's actually teaching me how to make kombucha. So she's perfected the art of kombucha. So, all right, I'm going to go have some lunch. I hope everybody enjoys their beautiful day today. Yeah, that's true. And now it's getting so cheap, actually, Mom, yeah. So kombucha's getting cheap. This used to be like $4.50 for one of these, and now I'm down to $2.19. In Northern Colorado, it's $2.19. So it's getting cheaper and cheaper and cheaper. So as it gets more mainstream and more people want it, then demand goes up and price goes down. So, yep. Sarah on Dallas. There you go. Yep. Okay, so I am gonna run in Dallas. I'm from Dallas, actually, Sarah. I'm from Dallas, Fort Worth. I grew up on the east side of Fort Worth my whole life. Went to school downtown Fort Worth, and worked in Dallas for many years. So thank you. I'm so glad you're here. Thanks for being here. Hey, Sue, it's good to see you. There's so many people popping in. I don't want to leave. What's up with that? It's like Power Scope. Oh, is that right? Well, it's a small world, isn't it? Bye. Yeah, please do come catch the beginning. That's when we talked mostly about the alcohol. So if you missed the beginning, I am in Northern Colorado, in Fort Collins, Colorado. If you missed the beginning of this scope, there is actually some great information at the beginning. So go watch the replay. It's available for 24 hours on Periscope and then back again on Catch. So catch.me. You can find me on all social media at GoToKitchens or GoToKitchens.com. And please, 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 please go check out my website. You have to go check out the website. There's nothing for sale. I'm not selling you anything. So I just want you to buy into your own health. That's it. So, all right. Please come see me tomorrow. Tomorrow we're talking about grains and oils, noon Mountain Time. That's 11 Pacific and 2 p.m. Eastern. Yes, go check it out, please, about alcohol. Absolutely. So, in fact, I'll be in Dallas in a couple of weeks. So, okay, so you guys have an amazing afternoon. Know that I love you. Know that I only want you to be healthy and happy. Please be good to one another. We are all we've got on this planet is all the human race that lives together. Yeah, good. Thank you. All the human race that lives together on this one big rolling ball that goes through the atmosphere, spinning ball in the middle of nowhere. And so we have to learn to live with one another. That starts with you. And where it starts with you is in your health. When you feel better, when you look better, when you act better, when your brain functions better, when your body functions better, you're less grumpy, you're less agitated, you get less cynical, and you have more compassion about others in your life. So please, 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 this journey of world peace and finding the love for the rest of the human nature starts with you. So please take care of yourself, find that inner peace so that you can start spreading it out to everybody else. So thanks so much for being here. You guys have an amazing day, and I will see you tomorrow here, noon at Lunch with Leslie. Bye.